Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. I'm continuing a video from the daily theme of Indigo. By continuing, I mean I already did one video, and this is the second one, and I'm using the same techniques that I used in the previous one, which is a combination of taking images that I had already done from a previous daily theme of Burple. The daily theme for today is Indigo. So I just took prompts that I had done for Burple and replaced Burple with Indigo. And then that's one thing. And then another thing is I used a catalog and did some prompts from that. So I'm going to show the prompts that I did. And I'll try to go slow enough that if you're interested, you can see what the prompts are. And let's see where I am on this. Yeah, it looks like I'm good. I don't think I'm going to get in the way. I know for sure I won't get in the way of the prompts. Um, so you can grab the prompts if you like them. So this particular prompt comes from this Only Styles game. So Only Styles game is in the Midjourney server, and it's in a part called Image Jams. You can get to it from community forums. If you go to Midjourney, you want to make sure you have Show All Channels checked. And then you can go to community forums, and then you want to make sure just get the arrow down so it's showing everything. And then if you click on Image Jams, then there's a whole bunch of different channels that are really worth taking a look at if you're not familiar with this. And then one of them is called Only Styles Game, which has 5 styles. And I really like this quite a lot. You get a lot of really nice pictures. And you can see what some of the pictures look like. And so the way this particular image jam works is it takes 5 styles and puts them together. And a lot of times you don't need all 5. So if you play around with it, there may only be 2, probably at most 3 that are really driving this look. If you play around with it, you can find out what's really driving it. You get some really nice looks with this. And the way it works is anybody can take part. It has 5 styles, and one is always like falling off. So high contrast will fall off, and then bold lithograph came on, and then you can see what the impact is of changing the different styles. So these are kind of changing kind of slowly until you get to here, and then you see some big changes coming on here. But there's a lot of different looks that you can get from this. And one of these looks that I particularly like was this one with the Chicago Black Renaissance and the bike fashion. Has some really nice ideas there. And I just threw Indigo in there. That was the previous video. This is another one from the same prompt. So this one was originally from a catalog, and I used it for Burple, and then replaced Burple with Indigo. And I like this Tintin Comics look. It has illustration by Burge, and this is style. That's interesting. Should be style of Tintin Comics, and I like this look quite a bit. Okay, so this is another one with the same prompt, and this one here you can see the Indigo of the batch they came up with. This was the one that most showed the Indigo, and quite a nice look, I think. And then this was from the Burple. Oh yes, I remember now. There was was trying to remember what this word was, because there was a daily theme that had it was actually hyper maximalist watercolor. That was one of the daily themes a while back. So instead of just watercolor, you can try hyper maximalist watercolor to see if you might get some more colors in there. And then this is, I think, okay, Max Rive. Yeah, so Max Rive, this is, there's a couple, there's like there's Max Rive, which I really like a lot, and then another one is Mark Adamus, Ademus, I think is the spelling. And both of these photographs are somewhat, I guess there's some similarity to them, and I think they make really nice images. The Max Rive this is a typical thing where you have the subject in the foreground, and then you'll have mountains in the background. And, this has a lot of extra stuff on here. But really, if you just put like if you just put this, it should come up with something similar to this prompt here. They make for really nice prompts. And also Quentin Blake, these illustrations I think are really nice. These are the ones I did before were black and white, but put some indigo in here to get a little color here. And this one, I'm not sure what this is from, but it was some prompt that I used for Burple and just put in indigo and had some kind of nice clean lines to it. This one I've used quite a lot. This is a 5-word prompt, which is golden hour silhouette, and then this changes, and then musician and guitar, and you can play around with this word in the middle here, and these are almost always turn out really nice. This one I like a lot too. This nature always wears the colors of the spirit. I asked an AI about what this meant, and it gave a really nice interpretation, I thought, where it said the idea was that based on your own character, your own spirit, so to speak, you'll see nature. That was the idea of the quote, which I thought was pretty neat idea. And this can be quite an effective way of having prompts is to use a literary reference. And it's quite interesting to see how the Midjourney prompt will interpret different literary references. And I've used this many, many times, and there's all sorts of things you can do with it. I just put an indigo on it, but you could add artists, you could add art styles to it, and almost always these come up with nice images. Watercolors, another one. If you put watercolors a part of that. Okay, so the ones that I showed before now were, let me go, I'll show. Okay, well, I guess I'm on them. All right, so I'm going to go to my images. I'll come back to this in a second. And if I do search prompts, and I do purple. Okay, so these are what is it? Purple, it's blurple. Okay, so these are ones that were from a previous daily theme. These are the blurple ones I did. And so these I replaced with indigo. So indigo are the ones that I have now. And the ones up until now, I used that was up to here. Okay, so these were all quotes that I had, or prompts that I had that had purple in it. And then the next ones I'm going to show were catalog-based prompts. So catalog-based prompts I've talked about in a number of previous videos, but it's basically a collection of prompts. And the idea is you give ChatGPT a collection of prompts and say, make prompts that are similar to ones that you have in the collection. And I will include in the description of the video this blog, and then there's a blog post, and you can copy and paste this script, and it'll work similar to the script that I'm showing now. And also I've got a catalog that you can use as a sample, I guess you could say. But you can develop your own catalogs, and if you just run the script and ask it how to do catalogs, it'll guide you through the process. So in the ChatGPT session, I had I think 4 catalogs in memory. That's the cool thing about the large context window. It has a context window of 128,000 K tokens, which is over 300 pages of a normal book. So I just gave it a bunch of catalogs. So there's 4 catalogs in memory. And I did, in the previous video, I did one of them, prompts from one of them. And then I asked it to recommend another one right here. So I said, let's do some Indigo prompts from another catalog. Which one do you suggest? Consider each before making a recommendation. So this sentence at the end, that can be a helpful thing with ChatGPT, that if you don't give it guidance like that, it tends to just do whatever the first thing that it sees is. But you can give it a little hint to consider everything, and then it will. So I went through and considered them. It chose a catalog, and then I asked it for 10 prompts from the catalog. And so the catalog has a bunch of prompts, maybe 100. It's got like 10 sections of 10 prompts, and then it just chose 10 from that catalog, and that's what I'll be showing now. So this is a cityscape of Sitka that was quite nice. And then this is this is some reference that I don't know, but it's a Parisian thing. And this is really nice. There doesn't seem to be any indication here for it to do this. I think it's called blocky or something like that. This blurring technique where you see that in the front it's in focus, but in the back it's blurred, and it has a way of bringing the subject to the forefront. So that's not in the prompt, but it chose to do it that way, and I think it looks really nice. Then this is another from the same catalog. Oh, I like this one quite a bit. So this one was from Interior. So like in a furniture type thing. And there were, in the batch of 4, there was one that had a person in it, which I thought added some nice interest to it and had this nice background. And that made for a really nice prompt or a nice image. This one was the least in your face. There was 4 of them. And it says his eyes reflecting an indigo world of emotions. And the other ones that Midjourney did had like even more of I had like a close-up just of an eye. It was kind of creepy. So this was the one that was the least in your face of them. But that turned out okay. And the indigo, I think here works quite well with the winter scenery. Okay, and then here's another interior with the indigo. And I think this is the last one. I like the way that, you can see that the prompt is very simple. By the way, this is just a way of indicating a batch that I have if I want to search for it later. But you can see that this is, quite a simple prompt that turned out quite nice. And I think it's a good technique to use. Since I've been borrowing these prompts that other people did and not really tweaking them, but in my own experience, I think if you make the prompt smaller rather than larger, that they tend to work better. And also, it's a lot easier to understand because you can see what the impact is of each of the words that you're using if you just use a few words. And you can see it's quite a nice prompt, even though it's quite a simple one. Well, I hope you enjoyed these images, and also maybe if you're able to have some ideas from some of the prompts here. And once again, I'll leave the reference to the blog posts in case you're interested in grabbing the script and playing around with it. But I suggest this simple idea of a catalog, which is just a collection of prompts. You can just get a collection, 10 or 20 prompts that you like, put them all together, give them to ChatGPT, and then just say, here, use this collection of prompts, and then give it a theme. And it'll come up. I really enjoy this style a lot because I think that you get consistently good prompts, images, and well, good prompts too. And you don't know what you're gonna get. So that's kind of like what I like. It's like I'm setting ChatGPT loose to let it choose what to do, and so it's kind of a pleasant surprise to see what it comes up with. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, thank you.